G'day, it's Pete here and I'm back again for some more hands from the Gold Coast. Today I want to look at a couple of hands that came from the semi-final, and then I'll show a hand from the final, and then the next video will have the rest of the ones from the final. So let's jump in. The semi-final was played against the Spooner team, which was Andrew Spooner, Matt Malumphy, Will Jenner O'Shea, and Mike Doki. And here, this is probably the most interesting hand from the semi-final, or at least the most talked about one. And here, first seat favorable, I got to open 2 hearts, and our convention for 2 hearts at not vulnerable was it showed weak with both majors at least 4-4. So I'm showing at least 4 hearts, at least 4 spades, and favorable vulnerability, it can be a really weak hand, so this wouldn't even be a minimum for it. But at this stage, it went pass, pass, double. I went pass. They bid 3 no trumps. And then it went pass 4 diamonds, showing a strong hand with diamonds. And then they bid 4 spades. And then it went 4 no. And then it went 5 hearts. And then 6 diamonds. So this was their auction. And here it got passed out, but I'll just leave the auction up for a bit because I have an interesting choice about what to lead. So it went 2 hearts, pass, pass, take out double. West opted for 3 no trumps. East then bid 4 diamonds, showing basically a slam try and diamonds, really good hand with diamonds. And West showed 4 spades, control in spades. First or second round control in spades. East bid 4 no trumps. West bid 5 hearts, showing 2 with the queen, and East bid 6 diamonds. So here it gets passed out, and my question is, what do you actually want to lead on my hand? So this is one where I thought it was pretty interesting with a fair bit of information, but here, what I was actually looking at is my partner had opportunity to double 4 spades, double 5 hearts. They also chose hearts rather than spades. So they didn't bid 2 spades here. They didn't double 4 spades here. They didn't double 5 hearts here. So had a fair bit of, they had lots of options to convey information to me. So then I was trying to work out, well, what do I want to lead? Ace has a pretty good hand here. And I thought, okay, if partner actually wanted me to lead a spade rather than a heart, because if we just look at this 2 hearts, pass, pass, partner would have doubled 4 spades to say, hey, partner, I actually prefer you to lead spades here, because instinctively from their perspective, they would expect that I would be leading a heart, given that I'd passed 2 hearts. They prefer hearts. But then they didn't double 4 spades, so they don't really have anything in spades. And then they didn't double 5 hearts to say, you must lead a heart. But they kind of are expecting that maybe I'd be leading a heart most likely on this hand. But at this stage, I thought, you know what? They had a chance to tell me to lead either of those suits. It is possible partner's got the ace of clubs. So maybe I should consider leading a club. Now, when you're leading against a slam, it's also really interesting what you should lead from doubleton king. The idea is when you've got doubleton king, usually you'd lead the king first, then go over to partner's ace, and then get a ruff, potentially. But when leading against a slam, your goal is 2 tricks. We want to get 2. And if we lead the king, partner has this interesting dilemma of, what if we were leading a singleton king? There's some hands where if you have a singleton king, you need partner to overtake with the ace to then give you a ruff. Because if they don't overtake, then the suit doesn't get played again and it all goes away. So because of that, what you actually typically do from doubleton kings is actually just lead your low one. So here I opted for a club and I led the 9 of clubs. And dummy came down like this. And I'll actually put you over into declarer's perspective from here, because they had a really interesting choice after this. So, all right, here's their hand. They've got some great diamonds. They've got doubleton king of hearts. They've got this club suit here. And we've got the 9 of clubs lead. So here what they did is went low, and they won their queen. Yeah, so they won the queen of clubs and they drew trumps. So diamond over, and then diamond back, and then another top diamond, drawing the trumps. And then at this stage, they came out the king of hearts, and my partner won and played a club. So at this stage, they have to work out, do they want to take the club finesse or the spade finesse? That they could win the ace, play a spade to the queen, throw their club away, or they could finesse the club. And here, they've already seen the nine of clubs work. So they actually took a long time here trying to work out which one to do. But ultimately, they took the club finesse, and I actually got to score my king in the end. So they ended up going down one, and a healthy pickup here for me. But really interesting one where after the opening lead, it looks like the king of clubs is onside, and they just had to work out which finesse was actually safer. But for me, firstly, leading low from doubles and kings against a slam is a possibility. It's not a super well-known thing that you're trying to protect against, but it actually posed Declare a problem. I've got some entry issues here. Now, you can legitimately beat this hand on a spade lead. If you just lead a spade, they can finesse the spade. But basically, the diamond entry, the diamonds are too short. The hearts, you could block them up. So it causes some issues there. If we led a heart to begin with and it went a heart over and partner takes their ace, they would actually have to switch to a spade into the ace queen to kill communication there. Or if we lead a diamond, I think that it can be done because Declare kind of has to lead a heart up and you can take your ace and switch to a spade again. But basically, you'd have to look at this ace queen fourth spade and you three low and go, you know, I'm just leading a low spade because dummy's entries are kind of limited there. So I thought this was a really interesting hand. Also, West had an interesting choice about, do they go for 3 no trumps or do they actually penalize me? And here, one table also, like in the other semi-final, opened 2 hearts, weak both majors, and double and West passed, and that went for 1,400. So I think pass was the right action here. But yeah, pretty interesting one all up. But the vulnerability here made them try and aim for a vulnerable game, but all those values in the majors, I'm not going to be taking many tricks in my contract. So that was the first hand that I wanted to highlight here. The next one from the semi-final, 1 heart opening and the opponents bid 2 diamonds. My partner ventured 2 spades and this went past. And with my good heart suit, I just bid 4 hearts. And against me, they led a couple of top diamonds. So it went, partner comes down. I've got 2 diamond losers, a spade and a club. And it doesn't really look like there's much that I can actually do on this hand. I could try and double finesse spades, but the opponents really have some ample time to attack the suits. So here it went low diamond, and then another diamond. And at this stage, they paused for thought for a while and actually shifted to a spade. And I thought this was pretty interesting. I thought a club would have posed a lot more problems for me. If they continued a diamond, I actually have some play, but it's still not really good because I can ruff, I can draw trumps, and then like try taking a finesse and spades. But then again, my entries will get a bit messed up. I can't get back to my hand to keep going. So you'd probably need to finesse the spades first, then you draw trumps or something. But here, I played a low spade. My opponents won the king. And at this stage, they thought for a while and actually just played a heart here, which was not the best defense. But I think they were trying to work out what was actually going on. And they thought maybe their partner had switched to a singleton spade and that the spades weren't actually going anywhere. But given the bidding, I probably don't have 3 spades. So at this stage, I got to win and then continue a heart. And we draw trumps. And at this stage, I just have to guess the spades. Do I want to finesse, or do I want to take a roughing finesse? And I thought there is no way West is switching away from the queen of spades here. So I went up with the ace and then just played the jack of spades, taking a roughing finesse, which worked. And we managed to make. At the other table, though, it was pretty interesting. So they took 2 rounds of diamonds, and here they switched to a club. So Team E switched to a club, but this club suit is really difficult to actually switch from. So they switched to their low club, the 8 of clubs, and Declare at the other table did really well. They played a low club from Ace Jack 4th. Now look at the pressure this puts on East. East has to either duck the club outright or put the 10 of clubs on it. But if you put up the king of clubs, now Declarer is just home because they can finesse the club instead and get rid of their spade. So you have to play partner for queen 9-8 of clubs and actually duck it. And Teamies managed to find the club play of not putting in the king. But it would be very easy to think that when partner's 8 came through, that they were actually trying to lead top of a doubleton, and you just needed to get one club trick there quickly. But we managed to pick up a game swing here and sneak through the semi-finals. So now I want to bring up a hand from the finals. I got quite a few that I want to highlight. But here on this one, partner passed, and I went 1 heart. And here I've got 9 points and a 5-card spade suit, so I just bid 1 spade. And then the next hand bid 2 spades, good raise of hearts, but only 3-card support. And partner ventured in 3 spades, and the next hand bid 4 hearts. And here at favorable vulnerability, if we can make 1 spade, then it's a good sacrifice over 4 hearts. And here with these sort of slow intermediates and diamonds, I thought I wouldn't have too much trouble making 1 spade. I also don't have any defense. Partner's a passed hand. I don't think that they're ever going down in 4 hearts. So I ventured 4 spades. Now my left-hand opponent thought for a while and eventually doubled, and that got passed out. At the other table, interestingly, it went, instead of 3 spades, it went 4 spades from the north hand. And this went pass, and Teamies actually just bid 4 no key card and then progressed on to bid a slam here. But they were pretty pressured and felt like it kind of felt like either way that West isn't sure how to actually convey their extra strength here, and should they be investigating slam or not. But here, 6 hearts makes comfortably. The club finesse fails, but we don't have any quick tricks. And on this one, I get out for 500, I believe. Yeah, I lose 6 tricks, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 1 club, and 2 diamonds, getting out for 500 there. So healthy pickup to kick things off in the final. So the final was played against the Daly team, which was Paul Daly and Tony Nunn. That's basically who I played against throughout the final. And the other pair was Ashley Bark and Arlene Daly. But I've got more hands from the final to come. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.